Hey, if there's somebody that you can trust with your money, it's definitely this guy. Like, look at his face. Look at him. He's clearly a stand-up guy. I mean, he actually has some pretty nice clothing on, so maybe he is. And I mean, he's also in Vern, so it's most likely not. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Anyway, I'm with Babaloo or Baby Lou. I don't know. We're gonna go over the market. So one of the big things about this game's menu systems, and this is why a lot of my guides exist, is that they're not exactly handholdy, and I'm okay with that. But sometimes they can be kind of confusing. So if you want to try to make some money or you want to buy things, you got to know how to work this menu. So the first step is you can go and find in whatever town you're looking at, you find the icon that is, the little gavel. So it's kind of a standard market thing. So auction house, talk to the guy, or second way that you can get to there, anywhere, even if you're out on the ocean, you can just do Alt P or open your pet menu, which is down in character, I believe. No, guide. So pets, Alt P. And if you have the Aura of Resonance, I cannot say how useful this is. Get the Aura of Resonance. It's not that difficult to get. I don't mean to buy it with real money. You can just use in-game gold to buy blue crystals. I've said that in a couple other videos. We have another video for how to do that, but I can go over it real quick here. You go into your F4 menu, currency exchange, and each server will have a different price depending on the time of day, the time of the week, and how everything's going. And you click buy crystals. You can buy 95 per whatever the amount of gold is right now. So right now we're around 700 to 730. So you then go back to Lost Art Shop here, go to your recommended, and for 420 blue crystals, which right now is roughly 3,000 gold on this server, you can buy a 30-day crystalline aura. So once you hit tier 3, fairly easy to get 3,000 gold in a month. So highly recommend getting this. It doesn't matter if you're free to play or if you're pay to win or anything like that. If you're pay to win, you can buy it for 13 bucks Canadian. I advocate for this. This version, I think, is one of the only versions that actually has the ability to buy it this way. The other versions, like in Korea, from what I've been told, I'm pretty sure they can only buy this one. So they have to pay for a function that we get for very cheap, for in-game currency. So back into the market. So again, you can open this, you can click on your market, and you can open it from anywhere. You can be out on the sea, you can be in an abyssal dungeon. The problem with abyssal dungeons, if you can actually use it in there, I believe you can't accept the mail, so probably don't do it in there. Yeah. Anyway, two menus here that you want to look at. First is the market tab, and then the second one is the auction house tab. So up at the top here, you have market. So market is for your standard kind of goods. Things that are almost always tradable and don't bind whenever purchased, except for, say, engravings. So you have a bunch of different menus here. It's a little bit intimidating at first if this is the first time you've looked at it. You can search all, or you can break it down by specific items. So you can do equipment chests, which don't exist in the game yet from what I understand. And then one of the big ones that people look at is skins. Now, when you're looking for skins, this will always show based on, if you have it set to all, it'll be every class. If you want to look just your class, maybe you're gun lancer like myself, you can change that to the specific class right here, and then click on the search button, and it'll narrow it down to just your class. So you can look at them. You click the little preview button on each one, you can see what it looks like. So that's the helmet, and so you can go through and look. Now, one of the things to understand about this menu is a lot of people, for some reason, fail at this. If you click on skin chest, you can see skin chests. So I know I just said the same word, but what it means is it's a chest that has multiple skin options. So it's a selection chest. So in here, if you click the preview, I can hit the over key to change between the different colors. So this chest allows you to buy and select which color you want from that weapon. So for 2,300 gold, right? Now, if we were to look at just the weapons, so if we click on the weapons and find that same gun lances, the Apocalypse gun lance, This one here, this is, you can only buy it as the red one. You can't change. It is the red one that you're buying for. And it's also already been traded once. You can see the number of times it can be traded. Standard is 3 if it was just bought, like recently made. So the cheapest one here is 2,500, which is a Dark Gun Lance. But this one here is 2,900. You can see on the recent sales prices, people have been buying these for 3K. It makes no sense, because you can just go to the skin chest the way you would get it from the market and buy it for 2,300. You're literally losing 600 gold by buying the skin itself, and you don't get to select which one you want. This is forcibly whatever one people have looked at. So the next portion that I recommend doing is if you're looking to buy something, maybe you're tracking these skins because you're like, I want to wait until it goes to a certain price. You can do what I've done here. You can click on the left-hand side. You can pin the actual product. So whenever you go to remove it, it will give you a warning menu. Are you sure? So I've pinned all the different gun lances that I wanted on my character and the skin chest. So you can see the skin chest is also pinned. So up at the top here, you can click on interest list, and you can now see all the things that I'm tracking. So different skins that I wanted, as well as things that I sell often, like Honor Leapstones. That market is so volatile, I want to be able to check in on it all the time. But you can see here, so I can see at a glance, because of my interest list, that the open skin chest is 2,300, and the ones at their basic are 3,900. So sorry, I think I said 600 gold difference. It's 1,600 gold difference, basically. So, and again, recent prices means that people have been buying them. So someone's going in, buying this, and then selling it, like going in and drilling down and selling them as the other ones. Now, this is not unique to the gun lance. This is for every single skin that's out there. I don't know why it works that way, and I have a feeling it's because people don't understand this menu. And that's why I'm making this video, is to help my guildmates and anyone that watches my channel. So, step 1, check if there's a skin chest before going through and just buying these skins. Because you're probably going to save a lot of money. Now, you can go through each different category here. Hair actually means helmet. I don't know why they put hair. Face wear doesn't exist in the game yet, and phase 2 doesn't exist in the game yet. I believe these are going to be things like sunglasses and stuff like that, but they're not out yet. Chest piece is self-explanatory. Your pants, chest and pants combo, again, not in the game yet, but I have a feeling we'll probably be getting some stuff like that soon. Now, the instruments is really interesting. We've had a skin given to us. You can see if I go to do like Song of Escape. I can't do that one. I'll do this one. So I've got this skin here. They gave us a skin for an event, but they're not sellable yet. So those will be coming, I have to assume, based on the fact that it exists here. So your two best places is either all or skin chest. You know, go to the skin chest first. If you're looking for something, definitely go to the skin chest first. The other benefit of this is you can buy a skin chest on one character. It is a roster-bound chest that you can put into your storage and then move over to the other characters. Because if you open it on a character, it's going to open it for that class. So this weapon skin, this will open up as an option for a gun lancer. But if I take that, throw it in my storage, throw it on into, say, my berserker, I can open that weapon as a berserker weapon. So you also see things like the old Lawmaker set and things like the Platinum Complementary set. So whenever it's a full chest where it has like the entire set, the weapon and the armor, you'll see how it says it contains both chests. If you preview that, you'll be able to... Oh, right, because I'm actually wearing the Platinum skin chest on this one. And... yeah, so that's, we'll just get out of skins now. So that's kind of how I track my skins for if I want to buy them or not and watch their value. Now, another big menu you're going to go into is your engraving recipes. So you can find them here. Now, this is where I'm going to show you about tiers and ranks. So in this case, there's no different tier. They're all the same tier technically, but they're a different rank. So you have your uncommons, so you can search and just look at the uncommon. You can do your rare, your epic, all the way up to legendary. There is no relic in this one, so the menu is default based on all the rarities that exist from all different items, because you're searching based on that. But in this specific one, engravings, you can't get a relic engraving. So you can search just those. Now, on here, you can change your sort by the rank, which doesn't work on this specific set because we have that. So if we do overall ranks, all of them, we can now sort by the rank. So it's going to show all the greens first, and then the blues eventually. Yeah, blues, and then that. But what I usually search by is either the recent prices or the lowest price. So if I'm looking to buy right now, I will click this until it goes to the lowest things at the bottom, and then you can go through and be like, you know what, I want to buy these because they're only 1 gold, and that's the lowest they can ever go. Or maybe you want to look at what's the most absurd thing on the auction house. So Mayhem is 2,500 gold right now in the gold one. So maybe you have the specific books. Another way to do this, let's say in your inventory, if it's really cluttered like mine, maybe you have these ones here. So rare combat engravings, this one is a selection. This one's not tradable, but let's say it was tradable. Maybe I already have all my blue books. Maybe I want to sell them, right? What you can do, you go into your market, you go to your engraving recipes, and then you change it to blue, and you're going to search and then sort it by the highest. So now I understand that the Demonic Impulse blue book is the highest price on the market right now. So if I have a selection chest with sellable, tradable versions, I would probably want to get these ones. And you slightly undercut by maybe 1 gold, and then you made some money. In this case here, you would want to undercut because there's 34. This is the cheapest remaining. So there's 34 at 50 gold. So if you put it at 49, it'll say 1 because you put 1 up, which means that it'll probably sell fairly quick. If you put it in 1 at 50 gold, this is going to go up to 35, and what it does is it puts you at the end of a queue. So those 34 other books that are ahead of you, they have to sell before yours will sell. Whereas this one up here, if you did it at 52 gold, there's 3 on. So if you put it up at 52 gold, you'd be the 4th, meaning you'd probably sell it. Whereas this one down here, like 91 Demonic Deathblade Surge engravings, if you put one on there, you got to sell 91 before you actually sell yours. Probably not happening. You may as well undercut by 1 gold to go to 49. You're the first in line. There you go. Now, when you're selling things, I highly recommend don't undercut by anything more than 1 gold. You're literally just losing money unless you're trying to crash the market. So like if you got a Berserker Mayhem engraving, don't put, 21,000. You're just losing 4,000 gold. There's only 2 of them on the market. If we click on this here and we click on buy, we can see in this new menu here all the information about this this product. So basically all the remaining and at their prices. So there's 2 at 25,000, 2 at 26,000, 2 at 27,000, 5 at 28,000. So these people are undercutting each other by 1,000 gold. Why? There's no reason for it. It blows my mind how people do this stuff. They get a book and they're like, oh, it's 26,000. Let me just throw it up for 25,000. You can literally do 25,999 and it will put it to the lowest and it'll make it the next priority to sell. You just lose money if you don't undercut by 1 gold. It's just insane to me. So whenever you're buying, you can be in here and you can keep refreshing. So if it's like a highly popular item that you know is moving constantly, you can keep refreshing when you're deciding. You can hover over the recent prices and see what they've actually sold at. So these sales were at like almost 30k, so 29, meaning that all of these ones that got put on here for under 29, they're just undercutting each other for no reason. So the next person that comes in here and goes, I want to buy my Berserker gold books, they're going to get all of this discount. Whereas all of these people, if they were a little more patient, they could have undercut by 1 gold each, and you'd have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them that would be around the 30k, because the last one that sold was 30k. So that's the expected market. These guys are just losing out on 5,000 gold for no reason. Again, it's a slow-moving item, but that's kind of how that works. So these are all your sort functions. I highly recommend using them to manipulate. If you're not very good with the market, I mean, it helps you find your lowest, the things that you want to buy. So the other thing that you can do is if you're looking for a specific engraving, maybe you're looking for Barricade. You can type in just Barricade, and it'll bring up, as long as you have this set to overall rank, it'll bring up all of them. If you just want the gold book, just put in the gold. So you're like, I already got all the other books. I only need the gold one. So you can do this. And then, hey, maybe you want to follow it. So then you can have it in your interest list. So it'll go in here. This has multiple pages. You can have 20 items locked in as interests. I'm just going to remove that. Yeah. So moving on from there, we have your enhancement materials. So this menu can be a little bit confusing because really I feel like it only should be one menu of items. So there's no legendaries. So again, got to put it back to overall rank. And we can see now in honing materials, it's like your basic materials. Versus additional honing materials is your stuff like leap stones and the chance increases. They're separated into this. Other materials is just the powders of sage. So this is where you can get for tier 3 to get your skill success rates over. And the weapon evolution material, I have no idea what that is. It's not in the game yet, but it intrigues me with a name like that. So this is where you can find all this stuff. This is generally the stuff that most people are selling. You're selling like your guardian stones, destruction stones, your leap stones from over here. Again, you can use the search function. So if you wanted to be on all, so again, whatever you're clicked on over here, the search is going to search through that grouping. So if I click on honing materials here, and I know that leap stones aren't in here because it's only showing these. If I type in leap stone, it's actually not going to pop up because it's searching through that menu. But if I go to all and search leapstone, it shows them. If I go all up here, which is the entirety of everything, it'll also find them. So if you're good at searching items by name, just stay locked on all and just search them. Now, we'll get rid of that. And combat supplies is all of your different recovery items. So potions and your bombs, all that different stuff, and then they have them broke down by those categories. So if you're an avid gatherer and you like to sell potions, well, here's a menu just to find just your potions, or you could just type in potion, but potion itself, if you're on all, will get you all the protective ones, the thunder potion, etc. So maybe you want to just do the other way. So cooking here is a little bit unique in the sense that you have all the different items that you can eat to give you buffs. The ingredients, though, are in... I think they're in other. Is it in other? No, other is just chaos shards. A lot of the ingredients are in your trader. Sorry, that's the one. So trader is where you get all of your gatherable materials based on your different types of loots. And you can get a lot of the cooking stuff in here. So like your fish and everything, because it's fishing loot or hunting loot. Foraging rewards is... It's odd to me that they call it foraging rewards rather than foraging loot, since everything else in here is loot. Just one of those things, I guess, right? This is where you can buy all your different things in here. A lot of people actually don't realize you can buy and sell this stuff. So timber. You can go gather 100 timber and sell it for 60 gold. So if you like to gather, you can make money through gathering and just selling it. So on that note, how do we sell stuff? We're going to in the market here. So I don't need to go through the rest of the stuff. You can examine through. Actually, pets are very interesting. You can buy your pets from here. So anything that's buyable on the shop via royal crystals, they can actually sell them to you via gold. So you can, again, be free to play and still get the cool stuff that the pay-to-win people are doing because they buy it and then they put it on the market. So they're paying for you to win. You just give them your gold. The mounts, though, this one I find really funny, and I'm waiting for it to happen to get fixed. The Academy selection chest is in here, in mounts, in a mount chest, rather than being in the pet chest. So don't get dangled by the issue. So this is 5,600, right? If we go to the pets and look at the Academy, they're more expensive than that. These people are getting away with this a lot easier because there's no selection chest in here, right? So you're not finding it. But it does exist. It's just over here. So don't get scammed on your Academy. Buy it for cheaper in here if you would like them. I prefer my Mew. I might actually get each of the colors. I don't know. They're really cute. So back to being able to buy and sell things. Well, specifically sell things. We already kind of went over buy. So if you want to sell your logging loot or anything really, all you got to do is hit add item. Now, again, remember this is two different menus. So there's market and auction house. Market is all the goods that we've seen in here. So your skins, your sellable, tradable materials that are not like equipment. that are like equipped onto the character. So other than skins are technically equipped, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. This stuff here doesn't cost anything to buy other than the gold. So you can see I can put up these potions. So you just right click it and it goes in here. It's going to show you the recent prices. If you hover over it, you'll see all the different recent prices. So it's sold for 34, 33, 33, 32, 32. So if it's a fast moving item, this number is probably going to be very similar. It's going to give you an average day price over the last 5 days. So you can see the prices actually started to go up over the last 5 days, but it used to be around 40 gold 5 days ago. So this could be a trend. So 5 days ago would have been like Monday, Tuesday. So maybe people were trying to do specific raids. I don't know. You can start to track markets based on that. So you put in your price per unit. So we'll put in 34. For me, the reason I'm doing 34 is because I want to have this sell really fast. Now, the better way to do this would be actually searching the item that you're doing. So we're going to go up here. We're just going to click on all. I'm going to do time stop. And you can see there's 20 of them at 35. So if I want this to sell really fast, I don't want to have to wait for 20 of them to sell. I'm just going to put it in one of them at 34. And you can change the listing period to being 1 or 3 days. 3 days will increase the deposit. Now this deposit you always get back as soon as either that sells or is returned to you after the 3-day period. So if it doesn't sell, you get that back. Now, one day will always be the exact same as the transaction fee. So you technically aren't getting this back because it gets used for the transaction fee. So basically, you lose out on 2 gold, and that's just a way for them to keep balance on the market. And removing gold from the game is generally a healthy thing. So now we click that, we got it listed. So now if I want to look at this and make sure, like, see, hey, I must have been getting undercut, or something like that. You can look at this and you can see I still have one on here. So I have this Fortitude book for 1 gold. It's only got 7 hours left. It's probably not going to sell. No one really cares about that book. That's why it's only 1 gold. But you can track what you have up for sale. You can be selling 10 regular items at a time. And you can do different variations. Now it's 10 slots. So if you wanted to sell, all 6 of these campfires, you would just put in 6 and you could be selling all of them and it'd be 1 slot, not, taking up 6 slots. You don't got to worry about that. So moving on from the market to the auction house, we now have this menu here. And I know this video is probably pretty long, getting a little bit draggy, but there's just so many little things on here, right? So this portion here is where it gets real complicated and there's a lot of cool settings that you can do. So you have your gear, you have your ability stones, your accessories, and your gems. So gems are the only one that is unique in here, that when you go to buy it, it does not cost anything other than the gold that is required for it. However, if you're going for gear, say you want to buy your 302 or 802 set for some reason, you go in here and if you click on buy now, it requires Fions to actually be able to purchase equipable items. So you can see I have 18. It's going to cost me 1 to buy this. So you want to be very, very cautious of that. You don't want to buy things willy-nilly and lose out all your Fions that they give you, because you have to go into the cash shop and trade blue crystals to get them, or get them handed out via events. So you can have all your different gear in here. Now, if you want to... Maybe you want to look at gear for everybody, you can change it to all there. You can change it to maybe you just want to look for your berserker, you're on a different character. You can do all that. Now, if you want tier, so if you want tier 3 gear, you would go to here. But you can only buy the torn gear for tier 3, which is used for getting the skill tree effects. Tier 2, you can do that way as well. Now, another way that you can do this is if you know the item level. So I know tier 2 is 802. So you can do 802 to 1500. Now I'll get tier 2 and 3. So that's another way that you can do that. So moving on from that, because that's, I think you can get skills on them, I think. No, not on these ones. So those you got to kind of figure out. Actually, you might be able to. Hold on. Let's see if we can finagle this. So you can change the different quality. So if you're looking for that 90 or above, you can change it in there. So we're going to change this to tier 2 so we can find something like that. And then You won't be able to find epic or legendary in tier 2. You will be able to in tier 3. So we're just going to leave it like that. You can't change any of these. But you can save this as a preset. So if this is something you search often, you can click and you can save this specific search. So we're going to search for that. And now you can see I'm only finding the 90 plus quality ones. So you want that weapon that hits real hard because it's got all that extra damage. Then you would go through and search that. So that's the gear in a nutshell. Now onto the fun stuff. So ability stones. This is where both ability stones and accessories you can really cater. So for tier 3, I'm going to use my own stuff as an example here. So if I wanted to get something for Gunlancer here. So class doesn't matter for a gemstone, but we can change these down here. So we can add an engraving effect. And let's say I want... where is it here? So gemstones can't have any of these class ones, but they can have things like barricade. So if I want a stone that has barricade on it, you can add that in and you can search. Now I'm seeing all the stones with barricade on them. So these are the tier 3 ones at 13.25, and you can, again, you can sort by your buy it now price. So if you do that twice, it'll go down here. So I can buy one for 10 gold. But again, when you go to buy this, it's going to cost 3 Fions. At tier 3, things start costing a lot more. It's 3 for these and then like 8 or 9 for a jewelry. So it gets expensive on the Fions part. So you only want to buy stuff that is like really good that you probably couldn't get. So like in this case, each of these has barricade and something else. And they're all really cheap. So I'm probably not going to care about that. I would rather go in and add another one. So we do engraving effects. So maybe I want barricade and adrenaline. So those are 2 that I really like in my build on blue. And so we can search that now. So because I already filtered this by the lowest price, it stays that way. The Super Naruni event is now on. So the cheapest one that I can find is 200 gold. So this has barricade and adrenaline. So I can buy that, and then I can go and craft it, you know, refast, or do the little chippy game and try to get, you know, an 880. That would be fantastic, but generally in my experience it's more like 008. So now the accessories, I often go to buy these. So we still have that preset of high quality. So if you haven't, you have to change it back to default. But if you want to put everything back. So now it's Gunlancer default. So maybe I do want 90 or above. So we're going to do 90 or above. We're going to do tier 3. And I'm going to say that I want combat stats. So I am heavy in specialization. And maybe I need one engraving effect. I need it to be combat readiness because that's my class engraving. So we can search that and we can now find these things. So in this case, these are not equipable by me because they're 1370. And oh, is there actually a way to filter it by equipable? There should be. So in this case, I believe you would just go epic because oh wait, no, actually, I think I can get legendary. No. Right, the trading level. Okay, so in my case, sorry for the wait here. We're just going to go there. So this is the only accessory on the auction house that has specialization and combat readiness, and it only has a bid. So you can't actually buy it now. You have to bid, and somebody's already bidding on this. So if you were to click it and you wanted to bid, well, you're bidding against somebody else on that one. So that's how you can kind of narrow it down to the exact things you want. The more precise it is, the better it is for your build. Most likely other people are aware of that too, and they're going to sell it for more and more and more gold. So for example, if I wanted to switch this from combat readiness to, say, adrenaline, and then we also add in engraving effect of, what's another good one? Say adrenaline and precise dagger. Those two go really well together, so I bet you this will be just absolutely nutty. 25,000 gold for buy it now. See, this is also how you can sell your necklaces and stuff. If you think it's a really good, search and see what other people are selling it for. Another way that you can do that, so when you're in the auction house version, you can register an item. So now we can look at this one. So this one is specialization, lone knight, and divine protection. So if we put that in, you can click the market value button. Now in the market value, it's automatically taking you here. So this is any of that exact item that you put in sold in the previous. There's never been one that is sold. If you now click over on search, it's going to search for that exact item that you had. No one is selling this item. So most likely, either it's really good and no one's actually tried to sell it, or it's just trash and everybody breaks it. So I'm going to assume that it's somewhat decent. I'm going to put it in here as a 50 starting bid with a, let's say, a 500 gold. Generally, Lone Knight doesn't use specialization, so this probably won't sell, but we'll see. So you can do add. You're going to get that tax if it sells. Otherwise, it comes back to you. We're going to put it in there. Now, a better one, so like this stone here. It doesn't have very good stats, but if we do market value on that, you can see none have sold under market value. None have ever sold of this. But there are other people trying to sell them at some pretty ridiculous pricing. Don't see anyone ever buying that. And you can see no one has bought one of these, so you may want to take that with a grain of salt. So you could put it in here and you could follow that market value, and you could put it in at like 2,400 buyout, try to undercut them. Really depends. You know, you get 10 slots again, so there's 10 slots for the market and another 10 slots in here for your registered. So you can only have 20 total items up on the market. Now, for gems, very similar. You can go in here for the advanced, and you can change the skill. So let's say you want Charge Stinger, and you want it to be the attack power increase. You want the minimum value to be X, Y, or Z, or you could do the rank. So you want a legendary one. So you can search that. So here's your legendaries. You can also change the tier. So if we only want tier 3 gems, that's how we find an 85,000 gold gem that has 21% extra damage on Charge Stinger. That's an amazing gem, but that's a lot of gold. And that's also how you can find what you want to sell for your gems by seeing what the market is on the same thing that you're looking to sell. So that is your overall details here. You do have different bids if you have an item that you're selling that has bids and people are bidding on it. Your sale history shows you everything you've sold in the past and what they were, so you can actually kind of judge. So I like to throw a lot of things, just throw it on the auction house and see if it sells. And you can go back in here and be like, okay, what actually was selling? So like Swiftness, Combat Readiness, Spirit Absorption. That sold for 500 gold. I don't know why. That's a terrible build. But it did, so there's some sort of demand for it. That should be just about everything when it comes to the market. I know this was a fairly long video. Thank you for sticking with it. Hopefully you learned a bunch about it and you're able to navigate these menus better now. And if you have any other questions or if I missed anything, make sure you put it down in the comments below. That way I can have a conversation with you. Maybe I'll learn something that I missed and it'll be very productive. So, cheers.